Hello, everyone. Welcome to 360 Degrees Excellence, where we believe everyone can have all-round success. I'm going to be having a conversation today with Dr. Thomas Mutengwe. We're going to be talking about food safety in Africa with special focus on South Africa. Dr. Thomas works for Department of Health in the Directorate of Food Safety Control. So I'm so excited to talk to him about food safety because that's my research focus area, my main research focus area. I've been looking into safety of food for some years now. So I'm happy to talk to him about food safety. So without much ado, let's just dig in. I want Doc, can you tell us about yourself? Can you tell the viewers about yourself?
Okay, Prof, as a point of correction, with the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development under the Directorate, Food Safety and Quality Assurance.
Okay.
Coming to the question which you've posed, Mbulaheni Thomas Mutengwe was born in a village called Miluwani, Venda, 44 years ago. And the love of being in agriculture started at an early age, whereby I was involved in doing gardening service after school, So coming to my educational background, I started in a primary school called Magwarera until I completed. Then I moved to my secondary level called Ralshero, where I did my grade 12. As I did indicate before that the love of being in agriculture started early age. Then I registered for my B Agric at the University of Venda in 1995, which I completed in 1997. In our graduation ceremony, I did receive 2 awards during the graduation ceremony in 1998 for being the best student in the School of Agriculture Science, as well as the best student in the Department of Plant Protection and Horticulture. I felt that no, first degree is not enough, but I moved further on and registered for honors degree with the University of Pretoria, whereby I did my BInsta Agrar honors under the supervision of Prof. Kosten, where I finished it in 1 year. Then I did move now to the working environment in 1999. So I joined the company called Perishable Product Export Control Board. This company is an assignee to the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development. They are responsible for certification of quality as well as food safety of all agricultural products of plant origin, which are destined for export purpose. In that company, I was first appointed as an quality assessor, whereby I was responsible for conducting inspection on quality parameters, which we were using the agricultural product standards which are being developed by the Department of Agriculture. I think the link is there. Yeah. Then when we inspect those products, we issue conformance that the product is suitable for being exported to different markets. So we do also issue food solid quality certificate for confirmation that the product is complying with the export purpose. So I think most of the people all over the world, they know about the sticker for PPCB, which confirm that this consignment has been approved for export. But the job itself, it involved a lot of movement. I was mostly 10 months away from home because you have to move where there's the season. So if giving an example, I would say it in this way. January, when other people are celebrating New Year, I'll be driving to the Dorrance in Western Cape to conduct table grapes inspection, which the season there, it starts from January until end of April. So which means that I've been shifted to my main post to another area. Then for that 4 months, I will be expected to conduct quality inspection for table grapes, which are exported to different markets. Then the 4 months, when it elapses, then you have to shift again to another area where it's busy. In this time of around May, we'll be shifting to a citrus season. So I'll be moving to Mabulol area, Groblersdal, which is in Gauteng, for conducting citrus inspection. There also we enforce the same mandate of ensure quality assurance as well as food safety for citrus which are exported to different markets. The season will start from around May until end of September, which means that I'm far away from home for that period. So I'm expected to fulfill the mandate of that company. The only time where you get rest is only around October. That's where you get time to have time to take leave. October, late October until December, you will move again for table grapes in Mabulol, because those are the only ones who always started with exporting table grapes. So if you can see the schedule itself, it was a bit tight for one to say that you can stay for too long with the company. Because as a person, you will reach a stage where you need to grow, you need to have a wife, but there was a bit of challenges in terms of that area. But what makes me also surprised is that the same prof I've mentioned before, Prof. Kosten, every year will keep on phoning me to say, when are you going to register for my master's? Then it reaches a stage whereby it gets to me that I have to do something, even though the work itself was very difficult. In 2005, I took a decision that I have to go back and register with the University of Pretoria. It was quite a challenge to do masters while working for that company, as I've alluded in terms of the time which you are away from home. But through God, it was possible that I managed to register. And then 2007, I joined the Department of Agriculture while doing that master's degree. In 2009, I finished it. Then while working for the Department of Agriculture, there it was easy because now from the PPCB, we're enforcing the quality. And then moving to the Department of Agriculture, I was now involved with policy development for the same export certain requirement which we're using while we're working for PPCB to conduct product inspection. So now when you are developing the policy, it was becoming easy because you have been there in the field, you know what is expected from you. So in 2009, I did finish my master's. I took a break, but as I took the break for 2 years, the same prof was still on me. Every January she was always saying,
Professor Kosten,
Thomas,
I know.
I want you to do PhD. Then I said, Prof, what is it which you've seen from me? Then she indicated to me that no, there's that capability that you can do this PhD. While working for the Department of Agriculture, I indicate that it's tough now because you have a family and also balancing study work. But I didn't lose hope. I said to myself that with God, everything is possible. That's where in 2012, I took a decision that I'm going to register for this PhD. My first year, it was a frustrating one because it took the whole year not doing anything and also not getting funding. Because when we look at what we wanted to do, it was very much expensive, which I couldn't have that money to register for that. Lucky enough, South Africa table grapes industry came to the rescue to sponsor the studies. So my studies was titled Pesticide Residue Level and Estrogenic Activity of Fresh Produce in South Africa. Yeah. So what led to this study, while I was working from the Department of Agriculture, we had what we call food safety forum meetings, whereby we discuss all the challenges which South Africa is facing regarding food issue. So one of the points which was raised then, it was the issue of monitoring of pesticide residue. That's where I've identified that as a country, we had a gap which need to be filled. And it is through these studies whereby we started monitoring pesticide residue for the two biggest markets, which is Pretoria and Joburg market. Looking at the volume which are being distributed to those two markets, they contribute around 70% of what is sold locally in South Africa. As well as we felt that we also have to look at what is happening with the exported product. That's where now we compare both export, import, and local in order to finalize to say what recommendation can we do. And coming back to, I think I've summed up all in terms of my work experience as well as my education. Yeah. But likewise, it was not an easy because I grew up, having my mom pass away when I was 11 years old. You reach a stage whereby you feel that you can't succeed because in most cases, our mothers are the pillars of strength to us. Without them, you can lose direction. You say that, no, things won't be possible. But I just want to say to thank God for his involvement and also giving me strength to able to succeed in reaching my goals.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you. I'm encouraged by your tenacity. It's not easy for you to do your master's and PhD while working full-time at the same time. But you pulled through. I'm so happy that you were able to do that. More successes ahead for you. For your PhD, like you said the other time, your project involved checking pesticide residues in fresh produce. Can you just tell us, just summarize the findings of your research?
Okay. I will start with the exported product, whereby we requested PPCB, my former employer, to provide us with the data for exported product, which was 6 years data from 2009 until 2014. So we collected roughly around 43,756 samples, which were analyzed for export purposes. And then the data, it's like that it's already been there. So what normally happens is that through our sister department of health, they're the ones responsible for setting MRLs for pesticide residue. Our expectation or what needs to be done in this industry is that once you have a pesticide, that pesticide needs to be registered. So it's an offense for the producer to use a unregistered chemical. So that data, we compared it with what was set on our national MRL. So the overall result, it gave us a 99.27 compliance. So which gives an indication to say that all those who are involved with export, they were complying in terms of import requirement of those countries. Because the challenges which normally happen is that if you don't comply with the import requirement, the other country that side, they have also enforcement agency who are responsible for ensure compliance in the other side. So they will notify South Africa to say, so and so is not complying. What are the remedial action need to be done? In most cases, they even dump the fruit in the sea as a consequence for you to feel that they are serious about compliance. So this export data which we take, it gives us an indication that South African exported product comply with the import requirement. So I use also European Food Safety Authority, which is a scientific institution which helps the consumer protect them in terms of pesticide compliance. So with European Food Safety Authority, they ensure that annually products which are exported to European Union, they are analyzed. So they write an annual report to say this is product we are complying with a pesticide requirement. So if you look at what we have done, it was the first time in South Africa to be done whereby we gave a data of what was exported to give an indication to the South African industry in terms of, say, where are you with compliance? So the whole idea was to say to South Africa, let's also follow suit in terms of what European Food Safety Authority are saying in terms of having an annual report or database of monitoring to ensure compliance. Also, if you look at USA also have a similar kind of monitoring whereby they categorize their fruit in terms of dirty dozen as well as the one which is complying, which it becomes also a choice of the consumer to say, I'm going to buy fruit which are labeled as dirty dozen fruit based on the level of pesticide or the one which is complying. So the whole idea was to say to South Africa, let's follow suit in terms of, say, annually, let's make this information available to say, we are going to publish a monitoring database of what was exported annually to give a trend as well as an indication in terms of which active ingredients are sort of like giving trouble to this producer. How can we remedify the situation? So that was in summary in terms of the exported product. Why did we do that? So it gives us an indication to say there's compliance.
There's compliance.
Then we felt that no, let's also move to the local market to say what is happening with the local market. That's where now, through the funding which we get from South Africa table grapes industry, we identified the two biggest markets, which was Joburg and as well as Pretoria, to sample our data there. So we had roughly around 199 samples, which we sampled and sent to the South Africa Bureau of Standard Lab for analysis. So the tricky here, Prof, is that you don't just use any lab. The lab is supposed to be accredited for ISO 17025. So SABS was in compliance with that. And then the sample were analyzed for period of from 2012 until 2014 with the local MRLs. So the data there, or the findings with regard to the local product, it was 91% compliance.
Okay.
8% it was the use of unregistered pesticides. 1% it was the exceedancy. But with the unregistered pesticides, we found that endosulfan was used in some of the products, which especially it was the minor crops like the vegetables. Because the challenges there is that most of the company always give an indication to say that it's not worthwhile to do the dossier assessment for many vegetables, looking at the volume which they exported as well as the income which they're going to be generated from this pesticide. So that's where now we identify quite a lot of challenges there with the mini vegetables, because they have quite a lot of unregistered pesticides. So that also gives an indication, because the same export products are being packed for export at the same time also for local. Because there's grading which need to be done. So what is graded for export, if PPCB inspector finds that the product is not complying, then they have to grade it for local. That's where now it gives you an indication to say compliance was there. Yes, yeah. So we also felt that also we need to conduct study for the imported product which are coming into the country. And then the same applies, the compliance was also not bad. It was giving us an indication of 80-something% compliance. Yes, yeah.
Interesting findings there. Very comprehensive work that you did for your PhD, and it shows the quality of products, especially in times of pesticides residues in South Africa, is top notch, is high. And I recently came across a report recently. An organization looked at different foods in Africa, and they said that South Africa food products has the best quality, and in times quality and safety, which is encouraging. But something happened in South Africa. The worst listeriosis outbreak occurred in South Africa in 2017 to 2018, in which more than 200 people died and more than 1,000 people were hospitalized when they consumed polony manufactured by Enterprise Holding, a division of Tiger Brands. Tiger Brands has sold the company now. What is your directorate? I know your directorate is not on that food Department of Health, but I know that in South Africa, 3 departments are involved with food safety: your Department of Health, and also Department of Trade and Industry. But what is your directorate doing so that this type of outbreak will not occur again?
Prof, let me say it in this way. The issue related to listeriosis doesn't fall under our mandate. It falls under the Department of Health.
Yeah.
So I'll only talk about what do we do from our side. Yeah. What we normally do, we expect that producers who are involved with exported products need to test for residue analysis, need to test for heavy metals, need to also test for microbiological tests. That's what we always expect them to do. So the only issue with that issue of listeriosis is that we also get quite a number of letters from other importing countries also prescribing to us what needs to be done to ensure that products are compliant.
Yeah.
So what we did, we just sent letters to all the stakeholders who are involved with export to say these are the requirements from the other importing countries in order for you to comply. So if you have looked at the 3 spheres alluded there, in terms of the testing which we cover, we say pesticide as well as heavy metal and microbiological. So which means that it also includes that part of listeriosis. So, but in terms of local sphere, that's not my mandate. I can't comment on that one.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Thank you so much for that. Thanks for your response.
Comment,
yeah. Okay, so what's the closing remark for us today?
Oh, my closing remarks, Prof, I will say that to be a regulator is not an easy thing. You are always good when you are approving product, but when you are stopping product for being exported, it becomes a challenge. Because where there's money, there's always problem. But in terms of concluding, I always have this belief in myself that I don't need to compare myself with others. I run my race. What works for one person may not be suitable for me. I focus on the gift and talent that God has given me. And then there's this saying which I always say to people: lion and sharks are all professional hunters. Yet lion do not hunt in ocean, and nor do sharks hunt in bushes. So I believe in myself, and focus on my territory. That's what I can say in conclusion.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thomas, for taking time out of your busy schedule to do this interview. I've really learned a lot. And I'm also sure that the viewers have learned also from you. I just want to add that South Africa has a good system, but it can be better, so that that kind of outbreak that occurred in South Africa in 2017, 2018 should not occur again. Some recommendations are being suggested. Number one, the South Africa should have a central system, for food safety control, like that is obtained in the United States of America, FDA. Another thing that has been suggested is that there should be collaboration between the government, academia, and the industry for sharing of knowledge and sharing of technology. Then we need also to support training of more food safety professionals, including inspectors and auditors. And there are other things that we can do, but I just want to end today.
Yeah.
Food safety is everybody's responsibility. Every one of us should ensure that the food that we eat is safe. You can do something, and we can all have food safety culture. I hope you learned one again from what we've shared today. See you some other time. God bless you. Bye.